Episode 2. The journey into the heart of the Congo was a descent into a world alien and terrifying. It was a stark contrast to the sterile efficiency of Anya's New York life. The small, propeller plane that carried her and her team deeper into the continent was a stark reminder of the isolation they were about to experience. As the plane descended, the dense canopy of the rainforest unfolded beneath them, a vast, unbroken expanse of green. Rivers snake through the jungle like veins, their waters are rich, muddy brown. The pilot, a grizzled veteran with a lifetime of experience in these unforgiving lands, pointed out landmarks of peculiar rock formation, a river bend, a cluster of villages with a nonchalance that belied the dangers lurking in this wilderness. Their first stop was a small clearing hacked out of the jungle. A collection of thatched huts and a makeshift airstrip marked the outpost. Here, they met the rest of their expedition team, a group of porters, guides, and trackers who were as much a part of the forest as the creatures that inhabited it. Old Man Tundu, the team's leader, was a figure of legend in these parts. His weathered face, etched with lines of experience, held a wisdom that commanded respect. His eyes, a deep, knowing brown, seemed to penetrate the souls of those who looked into them. Anya felt a strange sense of trust in this man, a feeling that was both reassuring and unsettling. The trek into the rainforest began with a sense of exhilaration. The sunlight filtered through the canopy, creating a dappled pattern on the forest floor. The air was filled with the sounds of life, the chatter of monkeys, the calls of unseen birds, and the distant rumble of thunder. But as they delved deeper, the jungle transformed into a labyrinth of shadows and silence. The undergrowth was a tangled mass of vines, ferns, and thorny bushes. The ground was soft and spongy, treacherous underfoot. With each step, they were surrounded by a cacophony of life, insects buzzing, frogs croaking, and the distant roar of unseen predators. The heat and humidity were oppressive, sapping their strength. Anya's carefully manicured hands were quickly transformed. The soft skin was replaced by a network of cuts and scratches. Her hair, once a symbol of her professional image, was now a tangled mess, plastered to her face by the relentless humidity. Her clothes, once stylish and practical, were now stained and torn, bearing the marks of their struggle against the jungle. The porters moved through this hostile environment with an ease that bordered on the supernatural. They seemed to know the forest intimately, their senses attuned to the slightest change in their surroundings. They could identify edible plants, find water sources, and predict weather patterns with uncanny accuracy. Anya watched them in awe, realizing the depth of her ignorance. As they ventured deeper, the daylight began to fade. The jungle transformed into a world of shadows and eerie sounds. The team huddled around a small fire, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames. The night was filled with the symphony of the rainforest, the haunting cries of nocturnal creatures, the distant howl of a leopard, and the incessant chorus of insects. Fear was a constant companion. The unknown lurked in every shadow, every rustle of leaves. There were stories of lost explorers, of encounters with hostile tribes, and of the rainforest's ability to consume those who dared to challenge it. Yet, Anya was driven by a sense of purpose. She had come too far to turn back now. Days turned into a blur of sweat, exhaustion, and the constant battle against the jungle. The line between reality and hallucination blurred. They saw shapes in the undergrowth, heard whispers in the wind, and felt an unseen presence watching their every move. Malaria was a constant threat. The tiny mosquitoes, invisible in the darkness, carried the deadly parasite. The team was heavily medicated, but the fear of the disease was always present. Every fever, every ache was a potential symptom. Despite the hardships, there were moments of beauty. Sunrises and sunsets were breathtaking spectacles, the sky ablaze with color. The rainforest at night was a world of wonder, filled with bioluminescent creatures and the haunting calls of unseen beings. As they pushed deeper into the heart of the Congo, the jungle seemed to close in around them. The canopy became thicker, blocking out most of the sunlight. The familiar sounds of the rainforest were replaced by an eerie silence, punctuated only by the occasional cry of an unseen creature. The air grew heavy with moisture, and the temperature dropped dramatically. They were entering a different world, a world untouched by human influence, a world where nature reigned supreme. And as they ventured further into this unknown territory, they realized that they were not just explorers, but intruders in a world that had existed long before humans walked the earth.